give a few 30 seconds opening, and then maybe Ishank, you can.
Sure.
So good morning, everyone. We are back with our Saturday meetings, and we have a very, very interesting session today, which has been aptly titled as Secrets to Develop Outsourcing Practice. So all of us are waiting for an outside, for to learn that secrets from our genie, CA Dhaval Paun, who has created an amazing outsourcing practice developed, and I would now request Ishan to formally introduce Dhaval.
Thank you, Namrata. Thank you, Naman Bhai. Good morning to all the participants who've joined in. Welcome to BCAS Technology Initiatives Committee. We have a session today on sharing secrets, one that has been limited till now. So here's our esteemed speaker who's going to share some secrets with us, which seldom are done. So just a brief 20 seconds. I was just seeing online before coming on to this session on outsourcing, and I see India is the preferred location globally for outsourcing. So I think there is no need to have a greater market size than ours. It is India. About 44% of participants who participated in a survey wanted to outsource their finance function. 32% wanted to outsource their payroll function. 17% tax and 11% legal. So we have a market leader, which is India, and we have a market size, which is finance. Both what we are as a captive audience exposed to. So I think with today's session, we will have only more from our speaker, CA Dhaval. CA Dhaval is an FCA, he is a DISA, a CFE USA, and an FAFD certified chartered accountant. He is practicing, I believe, from Rajkot, right?
Dhaval? Yes.
Yeah. And apart from engaging in banking or forensic audits, he's developed an entire outsourcing practice which provides services to US clients remotely, primarily in areas of bookkeeping, complex Excel models involving Excel VBA, and business consulting. He's also a certified QuickBooks Online Advanced Pro Advisor and has helped small and medium enterprises in the US in achieving automation in bookkeeping in QuickBooks and third-party apps. He's also worked extensively with San Francisco-based startups on plan in their product development phase. He has delivered CPE lectures on Excel as a forensic tool and as a practice management for CAs at the Ahmedabad ICAI and at the Sivakasi ICAI as well. He's also taken lectures as an FAFD faculty and advanced ITT faculty at Suraj and Rajkot ICAI. With this introduction, CA Dhaval, I request you to share some of your secrets to us today.
Yeah. Thank you, Ishank, for the introduction, and thank you, BCAS Technology Initiative Committee, for giving me a chance to speak at this platform. So basically, today I'm going to speak about how to develop outsourcing practice and areas revolving around that. So basically, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to share my experience, and I will be sharing some of the mistakes we as a CA do in getting this work through various channels. So I will be sharing some case studies which will be relevant for each of the channels you might go for. You might go for structured platforms like freelancing platforms, or you might go through LinkedIn or other platforms, or you can go through your own website or digital marketing. But the secrets I'm going to share will apply equally good in each of the scenarios, right? So first, let's see what we are going to cover today. So first, I will briefly summarize on why you should move on to outsourcing practice beyond traditional practice. Next, we will be seeing some myths about outsourcing practice, like we as a chartered accountant has many things which keep us from moving to this newer practice area. And next, we will be covering about skill alignment resources, how you can align your skills, because see, we as a chartered accountant are equally qualified to do gap accounting, and we can easily learn quickly the taxation part of any country. So, but how you can do it in a shorter period of time from your own setup, from your own office, right? And next and most important part is where you can start to get outsourcing client, which is the biggest hurdle in someone who want to start this practice. So we will be covering that, where you can get the work, which is, I think, the most question as a CA we will have. And next and most important, like all this part you can get it from anywhere by doing some research, like where you can start, how you can skill alignment. And you can also view my past webinars on on this topic on YouTube, etc. But today what I'm going to do differently is like proposal writing secret. So whether you do a structured platform proposals, or you do LinkedIn approach to some clients, or you do some cold calling or some digital marketing, you need to have some some right approach or right strategy, so that you will be successful in achieving those clients from overseas, right? So we'll be covering that part. We'll be focusing like 50% of the time I will be focusing on those case studies, like what you can do wrong and how you can improve upon it, right? So let's start with topics one by one. So like we are already doing good, we have lots of work in our traditional practice areas, but why one should consider to diversify their CA practice in a long run? So you might have seen that we charge fees on assignment basis. Like for a small and medium city chartered accountant, he will be charging his services on per assignment. Like I will file your returns for GST, or I will do tax audit for you, right? In that, there might be like they might not be knowing the time that will be required to deliver those services. There may be some glitches on the website front, there may be some glitches on like DSC or Java utility and many other stuff, right? So they might be spending double the time they would have estimated. There might be delay in getting the documents from the clients, but we have already quoted our fees and we cannot change it later on, right, from the client. So that is the biggest disadvantage I would see in the traditional practice. Whereas in like in this outsourcing practice, you will be charging the client on per hour basis. So that is the biggest advantage over here. Like if you spend more time, you will be getting paid equally, based on the hours you have spent. And see, like in the smaller cities, we have seen the CAs are have to charge very less fees for compared to the efforts they put in the compliance of the client. Like uh, like website, sometimes the website is not working, they have to work overnight at the end, like at the during the deadlines and stuff like that. So the level of fees we charge compared to efforts in compliance is very less in traditional practice. Also, there is a constant change in laws, so we have to keep updated. There is nothing wrong in getting ourselves updated and get the training, etc., but it comes at a cost. Like at the every change in law, there will be non-chargeable consulting to clients, because client will instantly call you regarding how this change will impact their businesses. So if you see a current practice scenario in India in traditional practice, you will see a lot of CAs are spending a lot of time in giving this consulting to clients over phone and email, but they are not getting paid, right? This is non-chargeable services we are giving as a CA. There is no culture for charging those services, right? Also, there is a limited upsell of services. Like we as a chartered accountant are capable of not only giving compliance services, but also other aspect of the business, like business automation, be it like costing, accounting, and many other stuff we can add value to. But we have seen traditionally that like in smaller and medium cities, uh, client are not interested in getting these services. They are just want us to do the compliance whatever is the required by the law, right? Also, like as I said in the earlier point, the core skills of a chartered accountant is not utilized. and there is no scope of skill upgradation because this client are not upgrading themselves in their business. Maybe like now we are seeing the development of blockchain technology, big data and stuff like that, but our client is not utilizing these technologies in their businesses. So we are just doing keep on doing compliance work. Rather, if you work for overseas clients, you will be like all those clients will be dealing with latest developments that are happening, and you will in a way be connected with those areas and upgrade your skills. And also we have seen less and less empaneled work is getting allocated to CS because the number of chartered accountants are increasing in practice. Whereas like we say we can take the example of bank branch audit. Everyone will not be happy like not having the work allocated to them every time. And also so, this compliance work can be done by non-qualified consultant as well. So we have seen a competition from those as well. That will make us charge lower fees, etc. Right? So, and you can as a traditional CA in practice, you can also list down other points which you think is uh, force you to diversify your CA practice from traditional to newer areas, right? Now, let us see some latest reports on freelancing in 2022. Like, what are the trends? So let's see those Forbes report. So, like, it will see you. I will give you the PDFs of this presentation, so you can later on go through this entire article. But I will point out one or two of important points. Like, it will help you remove many myths and give you many answers to your questions. So everything is freelance. It's tough to pessimistic about freelancing revolution. The data shows market strength, freelance satisfaction, and a growing support ecosystem and increased business conviction, right? So and see, this growth in freelance is not just COVID. It was already there. It just accelerated this growth, right? There are more and more platforms like Upwork which is coming into play. Like there might be 800 to 1000 platforms, each maybe some specific like IT related services and stuff like that. But there are growing platforms which make a community of not only freelancers but businesses who are willing to get their work done through freelancers, right? Funding, like there is a lot of funding to these platforms. It's a good thing, right? So there are many trends which we have seen, but one important thing I want to highlight is freelancing has a supply problem. Means there are lack of freelancers or service providers who are there in the marketplaces. It's not a demand problem, it's a huge demand, I would say. I would say uh, a good portion of our CA community can get busy in this area and get good amount of work. So it's a growing field, I would say. Also, there is one more report from PayPal which says 23% of Indian freelancers earn up to 60 lakhs per annum. So this is PayPal. They process many payments for freelancers in India, and they know what's going in the background, right? So the same report says the average annually earnings by a freelancer in India is 20 lakhs annually, right? So it's a huge number. So what I see is, we as a chartered accountant can take a lead in this area. One more important survey I would like to highlight here is, like the Payoneer survey, which is another payment platform, and it lists down the top 10 freelancer countries with growth, right? And the number one is Philippines. You see that 208%, and India is just little behind by 160% growth, right? And what I have seen is, like if we as a chartered accountant don't take lead in this outsourcing practice in finance and accounting area, then other countries like Philippines are taking the lead. I have already seen that firms from Philippines are taking a huge pie of the this economy, right? So let's see the some myths about outsourcing practices which stop us from moving to this area. So first thing is, like the capital expenditure. Like we see big KPOs and see that we need a lot of investment, we need a lot of infrastructure to start. But it is wrong. Like we can start with from our existing setup with the right strategy. So like I will like to give you one example here. One of my student from ITT training in Rajkot have visited my office after being a CA, qualified CA, and he said, "Sir, I have developed my website, I have done my logo, I have registered trademark, and I have incorporated a partnership, private limited company and stuff like that. Now I'm ready to take this outsourcing area." So friends, this is not that. Like what you are doing is, like you are just seeing the what KPOs are doing, and try to implement what you see externally. Rather, you would what you should do is, like you should try to understand what differentiator they are doing, how they are getting their work, how they are getting their work done, etc., the processes, right? So the right strategy is important, not the capital expenditure, right? Also, we assume that it's a lot of efforts and we may take like 5 to 10 years to set up this practice. But although it's not true as well, with the right platform, with the right system, and with the right strategy, you can easily start within like couple of months, or maybe 3 to 4 months of time horizon, right? So we'll be seeing this in detail as well when we come to the platforms. The next is, ethical dilemma. It's like we as a chartered accountant always first think from the professional ethics perspective, and there is nothing wrong about it. But we as a chartered accountant know how to get around this thing and how to structure our this thing to eliminate that. As like I will not go in deep in this platform over here, but you can always contact me if you have any questions related to that, but it's solvable, we know that, right? um, we always assume that we are having a skill, our skills are lacking in providing these services. But friends, I will draw 2 points here. First is, like to start a outsourcing services business, you don't need each type of services. Like we don't need to know taxation part, we don't need to do every part of the payroll and stuff like that. Like we know gap, right? General accepted accounting principles. So we can start with that. Later on you can move on to taxation and stuff like that. Another point is, like most of the KPOs which I see, like they start with the simple bookkeeping services, and then they move on to the next level of their services, right? So it is not a hurdle to start, and how you can get the bookkeeping skills in various softwares we'll be seeing in the next slides. But it's not a hurdle to start. The next thing is the language problem. Like many of us are worrying that we might not able to convey or communicate with overseas clients. But that is not true, friend. Like from my English you would easily come to know that I am not that much fluent with English speaking. But like friends, I am doing this since 2012, remember. And what I have observed that, like I will give you an example. When a foreigner visit India, and for example he is in Agra city to visit the Taj Mahal, and he has to communicate with a local vendor to buy something or to get some services like food and stuff like that, he will be not speaking like fluent or fast English over there. He will be trying to communicate and get his work done, right? The same thing applies here. He will be knowing that you will not be too much fluent in English, so he will be slow down their speech. And they, because see, the advantage is theirs only, because they want to get their work done at 10% of the cost what they would incur in their countries. That's the reason why they are outsourcing, right? So friends, this is not a barrier to entry always. So next and most important question I get asked is it scalable or is it long term? See friends, many of us are trying and not getting success, and we think that it is not worth, like we are not getting success from freelancing platform, we are not getting success from LinkedIn, or we are not getting success from our digital marketing or our own website. But the thing, see, always remember, first you have to have the faith, like if someone is getting the result, I should also get the result. One thing is the faith, like there is, if there is a faith in there, you will figure out like what is you are doing wrong, right? That is important. If you are not getting the result, you are doing something wrong. So if you stick to that and try to figure out what you are doing wrong, you will definitely get success. And see, as I told you, I have been following this since 2007, I think, and I have been doing personally since 2012. So there is nothing like, no one can tell you that it is going to stop or some regulation will change. There will, you will heard a lot of things, but in the article of force also, which I just said, you will come to know about that it's going to stay, and every country is supporting this economy, right? So we already covered this slide about the growth. So like, let's first quickly now come to the skill alignment part, how you can be a subject matter expert in shortest amount of time. Like I, like in last 10 years, I have learned a lot of about non-CS skills, like non-chartered accountant skills, like maybe WordPress, digital marketing, and a lot of areas I have learned in last 10 years. And there is one blueprint I have been following, and you can also do the same, and that is to connect with all the stakeholders. Like first stakeholder is always the regulator, like in our India, for CA ICI is the regulator, right? And they are conducting a lot of webinars and activities which enlighten us with relevant skills and knowledge. So everywhere you will find someone, like in CPA, in USA there is AI CPA, right? I'm not telling you to do the CPA, but there are webinars they are conducting. There are various knowledge resources they are providing, which you can utilize to enlighten yourself in this area, right? So we'll be covering some of them in detail. But first, let's see the next stakeholders. The next stakeholder is enablers. So when I say enablers, enablers are someone like QuickBooks, which enable the bookkeeping in online ecosystem for clients, right? So they are also giving a lot of resources. We'll be seeing that in the next actual when we see the QuickBooks training and stuff like that. So those are enablers which you can connect to for your skill alignment. Next is, and most important is, the community or forum in any area, be it Microsoft Excel, be it QuickBooks, be it Upwork. You will find an active community where you can participate and get knowledge about those areas. You might ask question, or you can give answers to questions of others. Anyway, that will help you in develop in this area, right? So like if I give my example, in my earlier days I was very active in Microsoft community in Excel topic. The reason was like I want to increase my skills like by solving problems of others. When I don't have work, I will spend time on community and increase my knowledge by solving those problems. You can read some books on those topics. You can buy some courses on Udemy and watch some videos on YouTube. Like everything is available nowadays. You just need the right resources, right? So I will be giving example of each of them in the next few minutes. You can also visit some useful website, like when I was learning WordPress, I used to visit a lot of time WP Beginner. If you have heard about that website, WP Beginner, which is encyclopedia of WordPress knowledge. So there are such website in each area. Like in Excel, we have chandu.org, chandu.org, which is pioneer in Microsoft Excel. So you can regularly visit their blogs, and learn from them. You can also join Facebook and LinkedIn groups, right? And also you can set Google News alerts, like when the UAE has implemented VAT. I have set Google News alerts to my email address, so every news in UAE VAT will be emailed to me on a daily basis. So that things you can do, in whichever area you are interested in. You can always ask support, like when I started on a platform called Elance, which is now called Upwork, by the way. I have many questions like anyone would have. And what I used to do is, like daily basis, I go on the chat support and ask my questions, whatever it may be. And it will, like if you have the faith, if you know that this is the right platform, this is going to work for me, don't hesitate to, do whatever it take to make you successful. And next is, like you can analyze the competitors, how they are doing, what they are doing. When you visit conferences, or where you get chance to interact with their employees, you can get some insight on how they are doing the business and stuff like that. So this is the resources to get the skill alignment, right? Like now we will get some examples on skill alignment. And when I say skill alignment, like, see, there are two paths you can follow at the start. When you start this outsourcing services, it's very important that you know your strengths and weaknesses and plan accordingly. Like there are two paths I would say you can follow. One is going for a basic services in accounting and taxation, which will fetch you, for example, $10 per hour, right? At the same time, you can give some technological services like VBA automation, like business plan, pitch deck preparation, and many stuff like that, which is more cutting edge, like Power Query, Power Pivot. Many stuff are that which will give you more, like visualization, data visualization, data analytics, which will maybe giving you up to $100 per hour, right? So for earning the equal amount in both the paths, you might need 10-20% team in basic services, whereas only one person can fetch $100 per hour, right? And in other side, you will incur the staff cost, the infrastructure cost, stuff like that. So based on your strength, like if you are more interested in technological services, you can go for that. But if you are more of a person who can delegate your work to the team and get that done, and you have that capabilities, then you can go for those services. Now I will give some example of both the skills and how you can enlighten yourself in these areas. Like for example, QuickBooks, right? So in QuickBooks, okay, so let me log into QuickBooks again. I got signed out. So like they are enablers, and as I told you, they are giving a lot of insight on how you can develop your services, right? So we will see what resources they provide to us. See, they all have this, like QuickBooks or Zero, whatever you take, you will have a pro advisor or partner program for accountant and bookkeepers, right? So you can enroll for those programs, and there will be free training and free certification available. So you can go through those. So they are not just providing QuickBooks online product training, like you can see this various trainings are available, but They are also providing you how you can develop your practice. Like this enablers want you to be successful in your practice area. So you can see this advisory, like they have uh, curated these courses as well, where they give you the insight on how you can propose the client, how you can get the work, what is the onboarding process, and many stuff you will find. So believe in the system and just try to learn from here. There's a plethora of information available on their websites. Also, there are webinars like this from CPA Academy. So if you can visit CPA Academy, there are free of cost webinars available on current topics, like introduction to cryptocurrency and taxes. So because see, the demand in this area will be of cutting edge, not just the traditional bookkeeping or taxation work. So you need to have to be relevant. You need to have this latest development knowledge. So keep on updating yourself regularly by visiting these webinars on latest topics, etc. Another one is from Intuit, that is QuickBooks company. You will find some resource center for accountants. It's called Intuit Accountants. Also, like from another Intuit website is Farm of the Future, where you can get more relevant topic on how you can develop your practice. Like you see how you can achieve sales mastery through creating a great sales conversation, right? uh, Sales is tricky subject for most bookkeeper, because we as a chartered accountant are not aware about how you can market yourself properly or with right strategy, right? So they are teaching on all these topics, so you can regularly browse these areas, right? And if you speak about technological areas, one of the like if you are interested in Excel, one of the YouTube channel is Excel is Fun, and I regularly visit for upgrading my skills in Power Query, Power Pivot. And this channel has, like, I would say, encyclopedia in those areas. And you can see they have curated the playlist as well based on the topics. Like for example, we need to learn about Power Query, Power Pivot, you will find playlist for that. And there are all practical case studies, not theoretical. So with the data set, you will be doing actual exercises, and it will help you in getting the knowledge and then delivering these services. So you can have browse this channel if you are interested. Next is like for example, I'm giving one CRM as an example. Like we as a chartered accountant like limit ourselves to bookkeeping and services like that, compliance and stuff like that. But we can do a much more. Like we can diversify our practice in many areas beyond that. So one is like CRM. And when we say CRM, we understand that like it's for salesperson only, but it's not true. Like I will give you one example here. Like one of the multi-partner, multi-location lawyer firm in USA, we have implemented Salesforce with an add-on app called Datify to manage their practices. Like this lawyer have various reports generated, like where their next hearing would be, what preparation they need to do before that. So a lot of automation and report generation we have done in this CRM. So if you want to be a database administrator, you can like the training is free always. If you want to be an administrator, you can find this training here. It's a free of course. If you want the certification, you have to pay a little amount, but rest, like the training is free of course. So that is what we need to start. So all this you can go ahead and go to one of the certification. As a chartered accountant, we can do administrator of database, of course. See, prepare for your Salesforce administrator credential, right? See all these like 50 minutes training, like there are modules of them. You can go ahead and learn those, and it will give you a good hands-on training, right? So it's available already. Next to website is Swayam and NPTEL. You must be aware, like this is government is initiative, and where like faculties from good organizations like IIT Bombay and Many other organizations are taking courses on this, latest technology or data analytics course you will find here in both this platform, right? So you can do that. So for skill element, the resources are many. You just need to connect to these stakeholders, which I listed down here. It's not a hurdle anyway to start your practice, right? Now, see, coming to the platforms quickly, like I would, focus on structured platforms in this, in this seminar. But, like the case studies we are going to cover will apply equally to all the platforms, whether you go to structured platform like Upwork, if you go to LinkedIn or Angel List, which is a startup community, or you can go to a, totally unstructured way where you will not, know the results, or it vary from person to person through digital marketing. So you will have to have the right strategy in that, right? Like, why I suggest someone who is starting just now to first start with Upwork, because it's a structured marketplace where there is a demand. Demand is listed down already. You just go ahead and supply your services, right? So it's easy for someone who is just starting without much, like upgradation of their digital marketing and website and stuff like that. So let's try to understand what is Upwork here, right? First, so as you see in this Wikipedia article, Upwork is, formally known as Elance and Odesk. It's an American freelancing platform, and it is very old. Elance was founded in 1999, and Odesk come into play in 2003. So you can see in 2015 they merged and now called as Upwork. And Upwork is currently based in San Francisco, California. In 2017, Upwork had over 12 million registered freelancers and 5 million registered clients. And see, more than 3 million jobs worth over $1 billion US dollars together were posted in 2017, right? So you can see how huge it is. If you jump in right now, you will see a lot of opportunities in here, lying around. So like, let's try to see why I would suggest Upwork. There are some systems which make that a good marketplace. As we've seen in the Forbes article, there are 800 to 1,000 of platforms available, but this is the most genuine, where you will find the long-term clients and you will be paid, for sure. There is a payment protection as well. So let's see what policies they have in place that makes us to stick to this platform as a starter. So first is their payment protection system. So there are two types of jobs basically on Upwork. One is fixed price job, where you charge on assignment basis, and another is hourly based jobs. The most relevant is hourly based jobs because they are more in practice. You will find more of the jobs on hourly basis, and they have this system to payment protection. Like for fixed price, they charge the client upfront and they keep the amount in escrow, right? For hourly contracts, they charge the client on a weekly basis and pay out to you on a weekly basis. So your payment is protected in a way. The another good part is, their feedback system, not only for service provider but also for clients. Like after each completion of the job, both will get chance to rate each other, and they will create a good profile history, which client also can view while giving you the work, and also you can view while accepting the work from the client. So it will help you to understand, like, is this client troublesome or is this client genuine, right? uh, they also constrain the new service providers sign up. Like they want to make their platform most relevant and most genuine, right? So if you create your profile demonstrating or stating your services or your experiences in tele software, so their artificial intelligence will try to search whether this service is really in demand on our platform. And if they understand, like if they find out that this services are not in demand on our platform, like no one is asking for tele accounting, then what they will do is, they will reject your sign up, and you have to again, submit your profile. So they do a lot of stuff to make sure that their freelancer base is relevant and actually in demand, so that there is no unnecessary traffic for the client, right? uh, Earlier they used to also delete the profile, like if you submit proposal on 100 projects and you are not getting work, for example, they will make your profile deleted, or nowadays they make it as private, uh, just to make sure that there is no much traffic for the client. Like if a client posts their requirement, if 50 to 100 people submit their profile and none of them are relevant, those is a waste of time for client, right? They want their platform to be most genuine for client as well. And you need to spend some like 10, 20. Earlier it used to be some jobs you can apply for free, but now it is limited, and you need to spend 10 to 20 rupees for applying to the job. And it is important because otherwise, like for a job, uh, if it is a free and there are millions of people registered, you will see 100 proposals being submitted on a particular project, right? But if they charge something, if you are not getting result as a freelancer, you will stop spending, right? So it will unnecessary, it will prevent from creating unnecessary traffic. So they keep on changing their policies, and they do a lot of system change. Whenever they see there is an improvement, they will accordingly change their policies. And you can see the like sometime back I have taken this screenshot from a client side. I am registered as a client on this platform as well. So you can see in accounting and consulting area, there are more than 1.5 lakhs professionals registered, right? But if you see no earnings out of them, out of this total 1,53,000, no earnings yet. Like the person who was not earned yet is 1,40,000. This is a huge, like only 13,000 has earned $1 or more. So next we are going to see in this only, like why you are not getting result, because a vast majority of are not getting any result. So what you are doing wrong and what you can do the right. And as I told earlier, it will be applicable to each channel, like whether you go structured platforms like Upwork, if you go semi-structured platforms like LinkedIn and AngelList communities, or you can go by direct marketing, digital marketing, your own website and stuff like that, social media presence, SEO. But if you keep in mind this one approach, which we are going to see in the next few case studies, you will definitely see the result, right? So we are trying to cover this hurdle for for our chartered accountants today. So what we call it as proposal writing secrets. I call it as proposal writing secret. When you approach the client, whether on LinkedIn as well, like I will be sharing one of the stories for that as well, how you can success on LinkedIn quickly. Like let us tell me that story right now. Like when I was trying to experiment with LinkedIn, how you can get success, I come across one startup which was in table reservation and table management for restaurants in UAE country, right? UAE. And what I've seen, like because they are enablers, they were writing these blog articles for restaurants, because their clients are restaurants. They are providing this table reservation system application for restaurants, right? So they were educating these restaurants on how they can create their menus, what like all aspect of their business, restaurant business, they are providing through the blog articles. So I've seen that, right? And what I've done is simply write a blog article on how UAE weight will impact these restaurant businesses. So at the time, the UAE VAT was to be implemented from 1st of January. So I have written this blog article and submitted to this startup, UAE startup. and they immediately, they liked it. And I'm not saying every time you will get the same success, because it's an unstructured channel, you don't know the result of your actions. But luckily my blog article, they published it. And because I have done good research and studied the implication part, like for restaurants, when it is going to be implemented from 1st January, like on the 31st night, there will be huge parties, and restaurant activity will be going on. So immediately they have to implement this new system of billing with VAT charge. So I have like listed down all the points to consider for restaurants on the 31st December. And that helped me to publish the article on their blog, and also get some work from them, because they were dealing in QuickBooks, they were doing their bookkeeping in QuickBooks. So this is the right customized approach I have implemented. Like if I have just given my profile, firm profile, with listing down my experiences and stuff like that, they will be not much excited. But I added some value, I customize my proposal, or I customize my approach, and I get the result, right? The same applies to this Upwork platform. Same applies to your cold email marketing, or your digital marketing, or anything, I would say, right? So always try to address clients pain points, try to understand it, try to address it. That is only key to success. Just saying that you are having 10 years of experience will not going to help you, right? You should demonstrate your solutions with stories. For example, if you are doing a financial projection assignment, you are submitting proposal for financial projection for a startup, right? So you would say, not just say that I am a chartered accountant and I can do this easily based on my experience, but you would say like the assumptions are the most important for cost and revenue. How you assume they are going to drive your cost and your revenue is important in laying down proper financial projection, or believable or reliable financial projections for your startup. That will make impression that you are actually knowing what is important for this project, and already about this area of project, right? So it will give an impression that you are a right consultant, and they will start communicating with you. So always create some stories around that, rather than just saying that I have experience and I am fit for this job. Always try to achieve some automation and process improvement. Don't just stick yourself to bookkeeping and stuff like that. Like I can give you one example, which is a rental business, Airbnb business in USA. And what I have done is one particular, they are dealing with one particular kind of guest for their rental business. And those are defense guys which are visited their city, and they are um, getting in their checking in this units of the client. So we have to generate a lot of rental receipt and reward point system for them, right? So what I have done is I have created this Excel model, which is like serves a lot of purpose. But let me in a brief, I will try to let you know what I developed for them to automate this process, and which helped me to gain more work or upsell my services to the client, right? So there are inputs tab where the client will input all the basic detail. The main important is the dates when they are going to check in and check out, right? So here, for example, they are checking on March 18, and maybe checking out on September 10th, right? So see what once I input these dates here, what you will see is immediately the check-in date, like we will be charging them monthly basis, right? The part of the month from 18 March to 31st March, that is 14 days, will be charged this much rent. So all based on inputs, I have calculated this rent to be charged on the first month, as well as all other months which are full months, and the partial month, the last month, right? So you can see very quickly, based on the inputs, we have calculated this rents per month. and we can change it and it will dynamically update. Like if I change it to 28th May, right? We will see the calendar will change automatically to give impact to this change in dates, check-in and check-out dates, right? And after having this backup per month, we are going to charge. It will help to generate this contract part. The contract which is going to sign, the guest which is going to sign will have this amounts from this breakup which we just arrived at from the inputs, right? The contract is ready, the part of the contract is ready, right? And the rental receipt, you can see from 28th May to 31st May 2076 was going to be charged. You see that? So the rental receipt is ready. I just removed the logos and part of them to keep the identity secret, but you just print this in the PDF and just send it to the client. So, you try to achieve the automation and improve the process. That should be the, your goal. And not only stick yourself to basic services here. Avoid quoting irrelevant experience. Like one of the main thing what I observed is like people like, although I'm not criticizing their experiencing or something like that, but the thing is, like if for a job in QuickBooks or Zoho Books, you are quoting your experience of Tele or quoting your other experiences, which might not be relevant. It is not going to work, right? So stop quoting the irrelevant experience in here. Also, like only submit proposals on projects you can think you really perform. Like there will be always on job training. Like you can figure out something on the job, but you cannot learn a new skill altogether in a shorter like 1 or 2 days. I will give you an example. Like as an accountant, we can integrate third-party apps with QuickBooks to achieve some automation, right? So we can learn, research, experiment, and implement this third-party app integration in QuickBooks to achieve some automation. We can do that. There is an on-the-job training and experimenting is involved. That is okay. But you cannot develop a third-party app to achieve something which is not available in the market, right? So try to understand what you can do and what you cannot do. There will be always on the job training on these areas because it will be dynamic services you are going to provide, but you have to limit yourself to what your capabilities are, right? So these are the theoretical part of proposal writing secrets. But as I told you, we are going to cover like 10 plus proposals I want to discuss with you, which are actual proposal by chartered accountant from very young chartered accountants to a seasoned or CPA firms, CA firms in like big CA firms. So we'll see their mistakes and we will try to learn from them. Like I have till date, like since 2014, I have reviewed more than, I would say, 5,000 proposal writing by 500 plus chartered accountants. So I know what mistakes people do and how they can improve on it. So today we will be seeing each of them and try to learn from them, right? So what I will do is, I will open for each case study, I will open the project description. That is, what was the project all about? What was the requirement? Next, I will open the proposal which was submitted by the chartered accountant. And next we will be seeing the my comments or my observation on how they could have improved to get some result, to get success in that particular project, right? So let us see one by one here. So I'm opening the project description for the first case study here, and we will discuss together what was the requirement here. So the client was looking for a bookkeeper for a global company located in Canada, right? So client was in Canada and he was looking for a bookkeeper. And you can see the job overview. So Unstoppable Performance Leaders is a multidisciplinary boutique consulting firm that support organizations globally with their diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging needs. Our clients are Fortune ranking companies in the US and Canada, right? We are now hiring a seasoned accountant to join the Unstoppable Performance Leaders team. If you are hardworking and dedicated, Unstoppable Performance Leader is an excellent company for you. Apply today. And then they have listed down the responsibilities for an accountant. So they will assist in preparation of financial reports, such as financial statement and budget performance, right? Ensure compliance with applicable standards, rules, regulations, systems of internal controls. And they have listed down all of these points, right? Also, they have listed down qualification, what they are looking for in the accountant. So first is bachelor's degree in accounting and finance or related field. See, they are open to like they are not very broad criteria over there. This is open and it's not narrow, it's broad criteria they have given. 2 to 5 years of accounting and finance experience, demonstrate immediate to advanced skills and knowledge of Excel, right? Strong analytical and problem solving skills and stuff like that, highly detail oriented and stuff like that. So this client is from Canada, and his average hourly rate paid is 9.48. See, this proposal I am going to show you next is from a very young chartered accountant. So there are many mistakes. So while looking at my observations, don't think as a criticism I am doing, but I am just helping them to get the good result or success, right? So see, their average past clients hourly rate which is paid in the past is 9.48 per hour, right? And the budget he has told is $8 to $15 per hour. So his budget for this job is $8 to $15 per hour, right? So let's see the proposal which was submitted by this young chartered accountant, right? So he has quoted at $25 per hour. You see that? And there will be a commission by Upwork, and he will be getting $20 per hour. Now you see the vast gap in the client's budget, his past spending, and his quote, what he has done, right? So that is the thing to learn. Like you might be quoting a too high amount based on, like, if you are starting, you have to have the startup mindset. You can go to the lower range, like $8 per hour, to just get some your success on this platform, start building your profile, right? So one thing is that. Another thing, like, read now his cover letter. Let's read his cover letter here. So he says, hello, I have read your requirement and meets your requirement. I'm an Indian chartered accountant equivalent to Canada CA and has complete knowledge of GAAP, internal controls. In past, I have also provided such kind of services to Canadian accounting firm based in Calgary. Request you to give me a chance for interview discussion so that we can discuss your requirement, and I'm sure that I will be most suitable candidate for this position. I can easily manage to complete the assigned task within defined timelines. We can negotiate the hourly rates. Now see, observe this from client perspective. This set of lines or sentences will be applicable to all the jobs. Like, there is nothing which is talking about the job description, which we have seen in the earlier image, right? He has listed down the jobs or responsibilities and many other requirements by the client. But if we see his proposal, which is very basic, I would say, is very generic. It's a copy paste, totally copy paste, which will be applicable to each and every job in bookkeeping, right? So, and there is some, sort, like end is written in the sort, and there is some cosmetic change. The first case study I have kept is a very, basic from a young chartered accountant, so that we can know what types of mistakes you might make. So as I told you, the budget discrepancy, like the mismatch of the budget and the quote, as we already discussed. Also from, as I told you, the feedback is available from the clients, like the client, what client has received in the feedback from the freelancers from their past jobs. We can review that, right? So from that, I can figure out what this client is in outside world, like what is their website and stuff like that. So if you can research about the business of the client, and it will help you to write more customized proposal and try to connect with the client through this insight, right? As I told you, there are many cosmetic points, and is written in the short, short word. And also, if you see, there is no paragraphs break, or there are smaller sentences. It's just one paragraph. It is very hard to read. Visualize this from a client perspective. When client has 50 plus proposals, he will be not spending too much time on going through each of the proposals, and it will just pass through, which is not relevant. So next, coming to the more important part, what you should write. Your proposal only speaks about yourself. It's just speaking about being a chartered accountant and generic sentences about their experiences, right? See, what I suggested, like I would start with something like, I'm glad to connect with a firm who is helping business for business development. So this particular client was helping other businesses in business development, right? So you can write something like, I'm glad to connect with a firm who is helping business for business development or new client generation, right? It will be more relevant, and it will make draw client attention to your proposal. Also you can write, being an independent consultant myself, I would be looking to learn while I perform the task for you, because we also need a business development, right, as a service provider. So this thing you can write to socialize with the client, and which will help you to stick to initiate communication with the client on these platforms. So as I told you, this one sentence above would have changed the entire game for you. See, also, while saying that I'm an Indian chartered accountant, don't just say that. Create a story around it. Like, being a chartered accountant with X years of experience, I have conducted financial report preparation exercise in accordance with GAAP compliance for X years, or for Y companies, or for Z sectors, right? So try to make it a conversational thing rather than a statement like, I can do this task for you, I'm an Indian chartered accountant. Rather than just saying that, revolve it around the job requirement, and it will be more relevant and more convincing. And see, client specifically, if you see the job description, it asks about Excel, accounting software, communication, etc. But if we see the proposal, it is silent on those areas. Like, try to address each and every aspect. Like, if we see here, see, demonstrate intermediate to advanced skills and knowledge of Excel as well as Microsoft Office applications, right? So many stuff which is asked by client, but if we see the proposal, which is very generic, and don't speak about that, it's very silent on those parts. So try to speak in the manner which is required by the client. Like, whatever is required by the client, you speak about that, which is also I written here. Also try to match each requirement in your story. Client ask about Excel, accounting software, communication, etc. But your just don't say that you are experienced in this area, but try to convey it through your some examples, through some stories revolving around the the subject which is being asked here. So that is the first case study I was going to discuss with you, although it's very basic. So we have covered it, and now let's go to the next one here. So first, as always, we will see the project description here. So this is a QuickBooks accounting year-end, which a small description is there. Perform year-end accounting in QuickBooks, prepare reports for accountant for preparation of taxes. So he need to pass this, QuickBooks accounting to someone who is preparing the taxes, right? So that is a very brief job description. And let's see the proposal, what is written now. So he says, hello, while looking at job post, the first thing that grabbed my attention was amounts paid by you, that is $4,000 plus 67% higher rate. So there is a statistic available for each client, as I told you, what he has spent on this platform. and what is his hire rate, etc. So it's always good to socialize. This is the framework which I give to the my subscribers, that you first sentence is always socializing with the client. But this sentence is more relevant if there is nothing to speak about. So in this case, there was very little which you can speak about. The job description was very small. So it's good point to like socialize with the client, to make sure that client knows you have read the proposal, you have studied the proposal, and you are writing the proposal in a customized way, right? And next is always, second pair, I always tell that always speak about the job in question rather than speaking about yourself. But you can see here, it's a basic introduction, which is again, this para is copy paste, which is put in here, which is nothing wrong about it, like writing something copy paste. But the thing is, like if you first speak about the job in question, you ask relevant question, you give some approaches or some solutions in the second para, what it will do is, like it will create an impression that you are the right consultant or right advisor on this project, one thing. And later on, whenever you list down your experiences and your knowledge, it will be more believable, right? And client will stick to your proposal to the end. So like this is the proposal which was submitted by the chartered accountant, and we can see like basic stuff. I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor, etc is written. And one question, but this question is like very generic. May I ask you which subscription of QuickBooks you use? Which subscription, like there are various subscription level in QuickBooks, so what subscription level you use? But I always tell you that ask relevant questions. It will make sure that client initiate communication with you. But your question has to be more relevant rather than generic. Like for a service provider, it doesn't make much difference whatever service level in QuickBooks he is using, although it's relevant, but not here. You can ask more relevant question. So let's see my observation now, what he could have done. See, as I told you, he has written a good and clean proposal by following what I taught, right? He has followed the framework in a good way. However, there is one element missing, as I told you, is personalizing and socializing proposal. See, although client has written only one sentence, it's good to speak, like it's good to get the year-end accounting done before sending reports to tax return preparer. So the situation is that a client needs to do the year-end accounting or to send it to a tax return preparer. So you can just say that it's good to get the year accounting done before sending reports to the tax return preparer. It will ensure that you read the job description and you know about the situation of the client, what he is trying to achieve here, right? See, and how you can think about this is if you visualize that this client is sitting right in front of you, and he speaks about this job requirement. What your what your next question or your socialized response would be? That would be the earlier sentence I have told you. Or you can ask something like what is the deadline for tax filing, which is the natural question you will come to know while someone says about this job description. So always visualize this client is in front of you. In remote work, that is most essential. In the later part, we will be seeing how to deliver successfully on the projects that is awarded to you successfully. In that also, like in remote work, something you have to take care. Like here we are is visualizing the client is in front of you to design good proposals. At the same time, while delivering the work, you should take care that you give regular updates. Like in local business, like local traditional CA practice, the usual norm is up to which up to the time the client follows up with you on the status, you keep mum on that project and you keep on doing most or other relevant task for you, right? Here it is not that. Client is sitting very remotely, he has never met you, he don't know you, right? So you need to keep on building the trust. Like if you say that you are going to deliver this project in next 2 days, You keep updates in like after 1 day, after 2 day. Even if you are not able to deliver, you can say that like I am not able to do complete this due to this reason. I will be delivering in next 12 hours or 24 hours. Because see, it's not implied that it's not okay to delay the deadline without the updates. So in the remote work, you need to learn all this, like you have to be more you have to have proper conversation with the client. So that is more essential. So as you can see, asking more relevant question is important, and socializing through your proposal is also important, right? So that is the second proposal which we have just seen. We will keep on going to the advanced level of proposal as we move on the case studies. I have approx 12, and I think we can cover all of them. What I have selected 12 case studies. So again, you see that this client statistics, he has spent more than $125,000 across 166 jobs, and you can see the hire rate. Out of 166 job posted, he has had 150 jobs in 150 jobs, right? So this is most important project, I would say. So let's read the job description. So he is looking for QuickBooks Online and job costing reports, right? And the description says like that: landscape architecture firm seeking help with QuickBooks Online and job costing reports, right? I'm looking for bookkeeping and administration proposal professional who is experienced with QuickBooks Online and can help me run financial reports. As someone who can help me create and run monthly financial reports, both inside and outside of QuickBooks. So now you understand the deal, right? Now let's see the proposal, and you yourself would now come to know what is wrong with the proposal. So just try to read this thing. So as I told you, the first line is socializing what I have given the framework. He's socializing with some statistic about the client, his hire rate, his spending and stuff like that. Then he introduced himself and his experience, and some of the other stuff. And see, same question is asked, like which level of subscription of QuickBooks you use. See, asking question is important, but at the same time you need to ask relevant question, which client is interested, or maybe he relate to you in some way. So this is the important, like this is very generic. Framework is good, but he's following it more blindly rather than customizing it. So let's see my observation now. See, I repeated his para and said, you are stretching this para too far. I suggested this para as a starting sentence to connect with the client. Now, every time it's not necessary, like you cannot have a format which you just fill in which every proposal. If there is more, you can connect with the client, or something else you can speak. Like, I, as an accounting firm, am glad to connect with a landscape architect firm, both in the service industry, like both are providing services. So you can talk about that, right? In the next para, rather than speaking about yourself, always speak about the job or job requirement. It will make client relate to you and stick to your proposal up to the end, right? So next, as I told you, like in the job description, he was talking about job costing reports. In here also, in the description as well as in the headings, right? But his proposal is silent because he's following a framework blindly. Now you can see I have speak about that in the second last para. Your job proposal didn't even speak about job costing report, which is the client mentioned in the job title as well as the job description. So what he could have written is, as a service professional myself, I understand you would have various projects or clients, right, for which you might be tracking expenses separately, right? And also QuickBooks has an inbuilt feature to track projects, project-wise tracking by enabling class or location. So now if a client read this a sentence, he will be more inclined to interact with you on how you can help on this project, right? So try to give some solution and try to speak about what client is requiring rather than just listing down our experiences and asking irrelevant questions, right? So that is more crucial here, as I tell every time that writing customized proposal is important, which is the example I just given you. And remember, see guys, I would tell you my statistic, like my success rate on this proposal writing was 14%, which is very good. 14% is a good number. Like Upwork says, like anyone having 7% is good. And one thing I was following is, spending a good amount of time in researching and writing a customized proposal. That is only key to success here. And not only this platform, but be it LinkedIn, as I told you, be it writing blog article on your website, or be it doing digital marketing. If you focus on pain points of the client, like don't just do digital marketing or outreach to each client in the USA. Rather stick to one sector, for example, real estate rentals. Design your blog post, your marketing material on one particular sector or industry, and that it will be more relevant. Client will see you as a real professional, real advisor in this area, and they will hire you as a consultant. So this applies to each of the channel. Understand that it's not just Upwork, it will apply to every aspect. And if you are not getting success in any channel you follow, I suggest that you start with Upwork. But any channel you follow, if you are not getting success, always assume that you are doing something wrong and try to figure out. Have faith, that is most essential. If you have not faith in the system you are following, then what will happen is, as you say, like as you hear from many of our community members, that like this is not working, this is not working. But the thing is, you don't know how you can get success in these areas, right? So let us quickly go to the fourth case studies. Now we will try to jump into the advanced observations here. So this client, again, he spent $55,000, which is a good amount, from the Australia. So his bookkeeper, QuickBooks is the title. He says, can you sort out our QuickBooks? I'm too busy to, and I live in a mess, which means when I need information, I cannot find it quickly. So the pain point is here, right? Now you can, like as you've seen the examples and what mistakes others are doing, now you can, easily grab the points you can focus while writing the proposal. So this is the reason why I have included these case studies, because when you go out there, 99% of the people would do the same mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, and then they will not get the result, right? So try to understand the job requirement. No Australian tax knowledge is required. I have tax accountant to do that. I just need you to manage our QuickBooks with the invoices going out, payments coming in, bank reconciliation, classifying my outgoings, means expenses that hit the bank. In addition, I will require a monthly summary report, externally done in Word, Excel, or maybe QuickBooks can do it, right? So you can speak about it, like QuickBooks has this, report, custom report you can create in QuickBooks. So if you have gone through the training, which we have discussed, and understood the capabilities of QuickBooks, you can provide more solutions to here, right? And he has introduced himself, like who are we? We are a team of software developers providing services to the Western Australian market. The team currently consists of 10 full-time people, 9 of which are remote workers, many via Upwork, right? So there is one chat. Let me see what it is. Okay, thank you, Puneet. Yeah, I am thinking this role is 20 hours a week. Firstly, to get our current book sorted, but to then help us fix our basic QuickBooks practices to make it more manageable out, ongoing. So this is the job requirement. Now let's see the proposal part. The same thing, like the first para is the social thing he has done. And now see here, he's trying to customize. I have referred your post showing requirements. It's just repeating what client has told. I have referred your job posting showing requirement of accountant to manage your QuickBooks with the invoice going out, payments coming in, bank reconciliation, right? If I am selected to be partner of your business, I will surely help your fix basic QuickBooks practice to make it more manageable ongoing. Now he is trying, like, see what I have told in the earlier, as an accounting firm, I'm glad to connect with software developer. But this sounds like a more, like who are following a framework rather than actually this sentence should be a first sentence rather than the third para, right? And then the basic introduction, what you have already and which subscription level, the same question, right? So see, even after knowing the right strategy, you might do further mistake. So we will see the observation here again. You understand my point? Like he tried to include this I as an accounting firm, but which is not connecting to client. As a client, I wouldn't connect to this sentence. If it is written at the first place, I would, but still, in this job description, I would have done more. And what more, that is, here. So I just said, it's good that you have tried to implement my suggestion, but it needs more work, as I told you. So now, always visualize that client is sitting in front of you and he speaks. Can you sort out the first para? They are not having the information what they are looking for. So as a consultant, what you will respond in that? So I would say something like, I can understand your trouble of finding information when you need it and spend a lot of time on it. And it impacts you as it must impact rendering of your own services to your clients, right? Because if he spends so much time in bookkeeping and information finding, then he will not able to give his services to his clients, right? So I can take away bookkeeping worry from you and help you focus on your core expertise, that is software development. Also, it's glad to know that all of your team are remote workers from Upwork. That make me happy to join you as not only a bookkeeper, but team, as I can easily connect with you. So if you write this para, it will sound like they are interact with some human being which is behind this proposal rather than some copy paste or framework that you have which you are following. So always try to be more human, be more socialized with client, because you get only one chance. There is no other chance to reach out to this client except this proposal. So try to make utilize this chance you have and try to connect to the client as much as you can. And also you can write, client required 20 hours a week. So you can write, I am available 20 hours a week as I do only a handful of small clients and can give personal attention to this project. So that is more affirmative for the client that you can do this task. See, he has written this para while looking at job posts. The first thing that grabbed my attention, this now statistic is not required because we already have something more we can speak about. So we can skip that framework part to socialize about speaking about his statistic, right? So that is key to success here. Visualize client sitting in front of you and responding to his requirement. This will make your proposal more relevant and reach client attention, right? So let me see the chat here. Okay, Rachna says how to start. Okay, see Rachna, as I told you, you can, there are 3 channels which we have already seen. We are currently discussing about the approach, which most of the, service provider do it wrong. But you can sign up with, freelancing platform, or you can find clients on LinkedIn or Angel List, which is a startup community. Or you can do, something which is called a digital marketing by writing blog post on maybe your own website or answering question to Quora, doing SEO for your website, even paying, Google ads and Facebook ads to, advertise your services in the USA. But today I'm not going to cover on how you can do, on those unstructured channels, because it's altogether a different topic. Today I'm going to give you the right approach, because in any channel you follow, this is more relevant. This is most required to have the right approach. even if you do, like have a website, you spend a lot of money on that. You spend a lot of money on digital marketing, but see, you will not get success in the first attempt, I would tell you. But you should know what you are doing wrong, and today we are going to discuss that. Like you need to customize your effort or your proposal in any channel you are going to follow, right? So today our focus is on that. Right. So this is the fourth case study. So I'll little bit quickly I will try to cover the other proposals. And in the end, like last three proposals are from the big firms. Like see, everyone is doing the same mistake. It's not that young CAs are doing this mistake, others are not doing the mistake. It's like done by everyone. So let's say the next one, profit first bookkeeper for a residential commercial painting business. See, understand profit first bookkeeper. So you should research about what is profit first. Right. So I'm looking for a bookkeeper to assist with the setup and provide guidance for QuickBooks. We are a new painting company started last year. We have mainly been operational for a month, about 2 months. So there are some transactions to catch upon, but not a huge amount. I also have a small digital marketing business, right? And now see the proposal that was submitted. So thank you for posting your job on Upwork. I want to congratulate. See, this is good. This is good approach. I want to congratulate you on starting a new business and wish you all the very best to your endeavors. Also, I would like to thank you for your significant contribution on Upwork platform. So that statistic part, right? As mentioned in the job description, you have started a painting company. See, now the problem, is it a house painting company? So this question is irrelevant, like although it's already said that residential and commercial painting business, now asking about that is not that much relevant. Have you already taken QuickBooks subscription or you are planning to buy the subscription? This is kind of good question. And which version of QuickBooks you are using for your digital marketing business? Again, good question, more or less. And now next is he has written, he or she has written his contact number, which is not good on Upwork platform here in this case, because it's a violation of Upwork. Next is introduction part, right? So next, let's quickly see what was the right approach. What would have been the right approach here? So first, as I told you, don't write phone numbers because it's a violation on Upwork policy. Because this channel you cannot, give your contact details. It's a ban. They can straight away ban you. And see, in his proposals, he says that I am already serving approx 50 clients to whom I am providing accounting and financial services. So never, exaggerate your client base over here, even though it might be true. But see, this client are small and medium clients in USA, maybe Europe, or maybe Australia, right? They are more willing to work with someone who is going to personal attention to this particular project, rather than they are doing in this services for a lot of number of client. They will doubt that you cannot meet their requirements or their deadlines, etc. So don't be a moderate number in here, right? So that is, see, next, as I told you, the client seems to be a follower of profit first. So if you can research on Google, that's a methodology of managing business finance. So I have in my observation to him, the CA, I have given the screenshot as well. Like there are 5 accounts they keep. First, they always reward themselves for conducting this business. So if you have actually research about the client's methodology or his philosophy, then you will be more you can write more customized proposal, you can more connect to the client and understand his requirement. So that's what I have told here. So the client has told, I already have the profit first bank account set up. So they reward themselves first out of the business profit. That is their policy, right? In a profit first methodology. So if you understand these requirements and understand their setup, then you will be inclined to write more customized proposal and that will help you to grab this project awarded to you, right? So now you can read this rest of the part, which I told you the same thing, right? So this is the one of the observation I like to highlight here. So next is so next job requirement is, QBO reconciliation, need everything balanced. Looking for a detail oriented person who can do a hard reconciliation of the books and bring them to balance. There may a rule based issue. So QuickBooks Banking Center has a rule, automation rule, which will categorize the
अरे ये
transaction.
केस है वो सुनो समझो ना
So
प्रणय
yeah,
विशाखा ने पूछी जो पहले
May I request all participants to keep themselves on mute?
yeah. So like this is some feature about QuickBooks which categorize the banking transaction automatically in QuickBooks, right? So he's talking about that it might cause the discrepancy. And we are looking for someone with experience in problem solving and can work quickly to bring the books to balance, right? So this is the basic stuff which client required. Now, if we see the proposal which was submitted, hello, I hope you are having a great day, which is nothing wrong in this thing. Thank you for posting your job on Upwork. As you have mentioned in the job description, you are looking for help for the reconciliation of accounts. I can help you with this work. So it is just reiterating what client is required. Nothing customized here, right? And then your experience, your background, etc., and then end of proposal. So this is just generic framework you are following. So what would have been the right approach, or what would have been the success? See, one thing, I'm giving you the right approach, but I'm not ensuring that if you follow this approach, again, there will be other factors in play. As I told you, the quote you give, client might, have some other preference. There are many factors, but the chances will be increased. I'm not saying that if you write this thing, you will get 100% success, but if you are at 0% job award success rate, it will increase to at least 7-10%. That is our motive. So as I told you always, the second para should address the client problems and approach to solve the problem, right? Nowhere you have mentioned how you are going to solve reconciliation problems. So always assume this client comes to your office and says the sentence from the job description, whether you speak the standard sentences which you write in the proposal, or you would say something like, reconciliation is a tricky problem to solve always. Being a chartered accountant and certified QuickBooks Pro advisor, I have hands-on experience solving bank balance discrepancy in QuickBooks, which sounds more reliable. That okay, it's more believable for the client, right? If he reads something like this. So try to display your experience through stories rather than just saying I'm a chartered accountant, I'm certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. You need to revolve around the problems and then display your experience. And see, he has spoken about, the client has spoken about rules. So you can say, you're like, based on your experience and training, you can say rules sometimes make duplicate transaction in bank register. I will tell you why. See, QuickBooks will import banking transaction, and because of the automation rule, it will add it to the books of account. And client might have also manually entered that expense manually from the expense center, right? So now we have duplicates. So how you can solve that problem? The only way to resolve this is to export the bank register from QuickBooks and match it with the bank statement, to identify the duplicate transaction. So that is the simple and approach, rather than saying, what the CA or service provider has told is, I have experience in QuickBooks, bank feeds, financial reporting, bank reconciliation, class tracking. See, now class tracking, location tracking, invention tracking, preparing budgets is not asked by the client. Why to speak about everything you know about, rather than you just say that how you can solve this problem, or about the problem, why it would have created. So that would be more relevant rather than just saying this standard sentence. So even while displaying your knowledge, try to customize it to the client's requirement or client's problem right now. It will be more relevant, right? So that is another, mistakes we do. So let's quickly go to the 7th one. So quickly read the job description. They are in the same line. Invoice clients twice per month. I need someone that can use our time tracking software, Clockify, be on our company's Slack channel. Slack is a communication tool to ask employees if any hours are missing, and ultimately use QuickBooks Online to generate invoices for clients. I'll walk you through the process. The client is filling you to walk you through the process. Ideally, someone who has experience with all three tools mentioned here, although Clockify is less of a concern, right? So that is what client is required. See, Sahil is asking, on Upwork, all jobs are for QuickBooks only? No. See, 50%, like if we talk about finance and consulting area, 50% will be regarding accounting and taxation, but rest 50% are in, like many skill areas. Like in the major part would be Excel related. Now, when I say Excel is a huge, area. It can be financial modeling, financial projection. It can be, your VBA automation. It can be some dashboard thing, some graph, some analysis, pivot table, Power Query. A lot of thing covers in that part, right? And then rest of the is very specific, like very like business plan creation or pitch deck creation, which will come in low volume, but there will be jobs revolving around that, right? So it's not just QuickBooks, but why I'm trying to focus on only on those jobs, because everyone can relate, and this rule applies to all the skill areas, right? So next is Pritesh, like asking about QuickBooks certification. So what I will do is I will quickly cover, like there are only 4 or 5 I want to cover more. Let's cover those so that I can tell you what mistakes people make, and then we will take questions if possible, right? So, Sam, now you can quickly relate what's happening here. So this is the cover letter. So thank you for posting and statistical, socialized thing, and reiterating the problem the client has, right? And then the experience. This is the framework the this service provider has followed. Just saying I have experience in all of these 3 tools and I can help you in achieving your goals, this is not believable. You are just saying, everyone will say I have experience, but what can denote the experience is your approach or your comments on the those tools. See, as I told you, this para is not needed every time. The first para about commenting about the statistic of past jobs by the client, right? Now, the important part which I just told you, that I have experience in the XXX XYZ, is not more reliable. Rather, you would say something like Slack is a great tool for team communication, and it eliminates a storm of emails within the team, right? And provides a great collaborative platform to work together. If you say something about Slack after researching online, it will be more reliable. Client will have the impression that you actually know or willing to know what Slack is. So try to be more personal, and client will have an impression that you can actually work on this project rather than just applying on this project as a copy paste proposal. So let's quickly go to the next one. So now customizing is the key here. So next is this is a small company. I have not reopened from COVID, but plan to do so July 1. Would like someone to look at my chart of accounts and adjust as needed. If it is a good fit, I would like you to check my account monthly and make sure it is documented correctly. I will also periodically request your time for questions at our agreed hourly rate, right? So it's a small business, reopening after COVID, he needs to review his chart of accounts. That is the requirement here, right? Now see the proposal. See, hope you are doing great. Now see this, he or she has done good. all the best for a new restart after COVID. You have been running as a surfing company in Mexico. This business is expected to run at a higher speed than earlier as tourism industry is expected to boom post-COVID. So he's trying to, customizing it, relating to client is a good thing. So as I mentioned in the job description, you need to bookkeeper for existing your chart of accounts and for monthly review of books. I can help you. Good. And he has written experience and stuff like that later on. So he is improving, but one thing he can add now here, understand that. See, to display your expertise in chart of accounts, you can say something like, I am glad that you are using this time to review your chart of accounts. Chart of accounts are heart or backbone of your entire accounting life cycle and are very important to generate meaningful reports based on your business setup. Now, being a chartered accountant, you know how account name setup and sub account setup is important to generate proper report. So, rather than just saying I have expertise in QuickBooks, bank feeds, and all the stuff, you could have spoken about chart of accounts particularly and comment upon it. It will be more, reliable and relevant for client. So you see, he is, I have experience in QuickBooks, bank feeds. So this pair, rather than copy pasting it, if you, customize it to match the current job requirement, it will be more relevant, and client will initiate communication. The chances of client initiating communication with you is higher, right? So that is that. So now slowly I will move to the bigger CA firms, what they are doing wrong. So okay, this is one from another freelancer actually. So let's go quickly through this. Family lawyer has multiple projects, would like QuickBooks reports for expenses for multiple clients. So he's trying to generate report from QuickBooks for multiple clients rather than the entire firm as a whole, right? So this is the requirement. And now you can quickly know what is the mistake here, So again, thank you for posting the job. What is required, See, now good thing. He's speaking about QuickBooks online projects. This is the functionality in QuickBooks through which you can do project costing. You can select the project every time you enter an expense. You can select the project and it will help you generate the reports by project. So this is good approach, is improving, but just an example, I have given one insight here. See, thank you for job posting, and it's repeating the requirement, right? You can more relate to the client. It's important to track expenses project wide for a service industries like lawyers. Once we set projects in QuickBooks, is just selecting project field every time we add a new expense. So always like every aspect of your proposal, be it first para, second para, last para, your experience, try to customize it, revolving around the project description, the client's pain point or client's requirements, right? It will give you more result. Now, as I am telling you, like it's not just the small and medium CAs which would do the mistake, it is the big firms as well. So let's see now. So bookkeeping and payroll full service agency, we need help with bookkeeping, budgeting, etc. Right? So Wave is the payroll and accounting software they are using. For budgeting and forecasting, they are using Bugsfor, and business planning and forecasting, they are using LivePlan, right? So if you can little research on these three things, you can, you can easily write a good proposal. But now see, this proposal is written by one of the, good firms here. So you can see he has spoken about his experience, his firm, and a lot of things. There is nothing generic, like there's nothing customized he has written. It's all generic, you can see, right? So what I have done is, like in my observation, it says like your firm profile is great. Like just having a 30-40 years of firm or having a large customer base will not help you get work on here, right? You need to address client requirement. Like client has spoken about Wave, Buxfor, Live Plan, and your proposal, which you have just seen before that, is silent about all this. Like client will not connect to, is not interested in having connected with the big firms or larger firms or experienced firms. They want to connect with someone who can give attention to detail, who can address the requirement. Likewise, your just experience is not, your qualification is not just the key here, is how you can solve client problem. And I can see many small and medium people also doing good rather than the big firms. And the reason is this, right? It will work in Indian scenarios. Like if you just give your firm profile with stating all your experience or partner experience and all that, it will work here. But in this platform, it will not work, right? So that is what I have highlighted here, right? So as I told you, like if you can see my observation, I also tell that it's not cold calling which we are doing, and which is never works actually. See, Upwork job proposal are not cold calling where you just demonstrate your firm profile and experience. It's business opportunity where you pitch according to client requirement to increase your chance of success, right? So this is the thing, so that's the thing I want to show you. The same thing, the same service provider, the same firm on another job. I'm just giving you an example. They are just copy pasting the proposal. If you see here, another job, bookkeeping for online business, the requirement is stated that before handing off to the CPA, I want to do this bookkeeping thing, right? And if you see the proposal, you will see the same standard copy paste thing pasted over here, right? So it will not work. Like even if you have the best expertise, if you have the best experience, until and unless you do the customizing the proposal, addressing the client problems, you will not see any success, right? So the last thing I want to highlight here now is the last case study, bookkeeping and accounting for consulting firm. Looking for bookkeeping assistant with experience with consulting firms. Please list your experience in bookkeeping with either startups, consulting, or technology firms. Will need your assistance in managing both QuickBooks Online and Zoho Books. So that was the requirement, right? So one of the large firm, like maybe in Mumbai only, from Mumbai only, written this thing, which you can see a standard introduction to their firm, their expertise and stuff like that, right? A long proposal, right? So what I have written or suggested that, see, the earlier observation still applies here as well, but more importantly, client mentioned about Zoho software and the proposal was totally silent on that part. How can client connect with you on this front? So client mentioned also that please list your experience bookkeeping and with either startups, consulting, or technology firms. And the standard format don't address to this requirement. Clients specifically ask, like, please list your experience in working with startups or consulting firms or technology firms. And you are just pasting your standard, although it's good, it's best, I would say, but that will not work if you don't address the client's requirement. So that is my points here. I want to highlight while writing proposal, which is the mistake I highlighted people do and what you can improve upon, right? So last slide I would cover is once you get awarded the project, what you can do to make it successful, client happy at the end. So don't hesitate to ask question, like we sometimes, like when we start work, if we have some hesitation or some hurdles, we will keep mum and stop delaying, like start delaying the deadlines. Rather than, you can just ask any questions you have. Also you can take time to understand business, the process, and the software and tools client are using. Don't hesitate to spend time, like it's okay. Like if I give you an example of 2012, when I started in, like for one of the hedge fund, I was doing accounting. I spent almost 1.5 months to understand their accounting, the tools they are using, and I also charge the client for that. So see, don't hesitate on that part. Spend your time in understanding and do the job. As I told you, give regular updates, which is very important, because client don't know you. They don't they trust you, although, but the trust is very subjective. If you don't give updates, they will have suspicious, like if you are working on that thing, you are stuck somewhere or what happened. So you have to give the regular updates. Even if there is no progress on the project, you can just say that I have not worked. It is more professional. Due to my professional commitment in the last 24 hours, which was urgent, I was not able to deliver. I will deliver in the next 48 hours. The client will appreciate it. That is the key to success. And also, once you do complete the project, obtain testimonials from the client. Because at the end of the day, when you go in the unstructured channels, the only thing you can showcase is the testimonials. Be it a video or be it a text. So now we will do a question answer quickly. And if you have any query, you can always contact me on this number. I would appreciate if you drop a WhatsApp or email first regarding your queries, because sometimes I might be busy in lectures like this or some meetings with client, right? So I may not be attend the calls instantly. So thank you everyone. Thank you once again, Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, for giving me this opportunity. And I will now try to take questions here.
Amazing session, Dhaval bhai. For all the participants, you can take up, you can write up query, and Dhaval bhai can take up. Dhaval bhai, have you taken this last query? What is the process after submitting proposal? Is it negotiations? Many time project description is too short. How to get details about project? So can you
Yes.
answer this query?
Yes. See, in the proposal, you can ask more questions. What are missing information, or what more you need for the client? So it's a placeholder kind of proposal you can write. That if it is a fixed price, you can say that I need this information, like how many bank accounts you have, how many transactions on an average you have on in your business. So all these questions you can ask if it is missing in the job description. And then like once client answers it, and on Upwork platform, one thing is very peculiar. You can submit a proposal, but you cannot do further communication with the client. When you can do further communication with the client is when client has responded you once. So once he start communication with you, you can do two-way interaction like normal client, right? So then you can go ahead and do a lot of to and from communication and question and answer and meetings before awarding of the job. Yeah. So one thing is asked is can we take the job this for our team? Yes, you can do it. Yes, of course, you can create an agency, and then then you can delegate the work to your team members. Yeah, any more questions?
Dhaval bhai, I have a question. Once
Yes.
you develop a team and you make it, more of a teamwork, then because this is a platform which could be learned while working on this thing. So how do you retain that team? Because everybody can then start working directly rather than working with you. So how that is important?
See,
how do you do that?
See, one of the role for getting continuous success is your profile, right? The past jobs you have done. So while you enroll some team member on Upwork platform under your agency, you have the right, you can customize their rights. Like they can only clock hours for the jobs they are doing. They will have a very limited knowledge or access. They will not be knowing your methodology of writing proposal, they will not having the access to that thing. They will be just having the access to clock hours. Like there is a software or application to clock hours for hourly project. So they will be having the limited access to that only. So that is that.
Okay. There's this question by Pritesh. Can you please throw some light on QuickBook Pro certification?
Oh yes. See, you just Google it on QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and you visit the USA site. And there is one thing, they require a US phone number and zip code. Zip code you can write any find you can find on Google. For phone number, there are two ways. You can write a dummy phone number, it's available like for 24 hours, or you can just write any number, because they will not going to contact you, because we just need the training and certification, right? Another alternative is if you can buy a phone number from Skype. Skype provide US numbers. So if you can buy that, if you have, it's a cost very little. So if you buy that Skype number, then you can enter that in the form, and you can enroll for this QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. Yes. So I can show you my Skype. I have purchased this US number by spending few dollars. You can have an international number, and which you can use to sign up on QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor US site. So you can see I have this Skype number purchased from Skype, which you can utilize to have sign up on QuickBooks.
Right. Dhaval bhai, I have one more question. What are the Upwork is one of the platform. What are the other upcoming platforms where it is still you're catching up, and still new things which are coming up, and our participants can look forward towards that? In any of the other platforms would you suggest?
See, across freelancing platforms, Upwork I see and I recommend always, because it's the huge platform across other platforms, and it's most genuine, and you will find long-term clients who is willing to pay appropriately, right? There are many, but they are trying to, like Fiverr. If you see that, they are trying to get the work done. The clients over there are trying to get the work done at very low rate, which is not what we are looking for. We chartered accountant want our services to be given a proper rate. So I would recommend that one thing. Another thing one can try is always try to find to associate with either CPA firms or startups. That will help you to grow as a outsourcing service provider. As a startup grow, you will also grow. You can grow your team. I have seen many of my subscribers who have first started with a one team association with that startup, and then they have 4 or 5 people need to hire to match the requirements which is growing for that startup. So as I told you, the one place to connect with the startup is the angel list, where startups post their requirements. There are many remote requirements as well, because nowadays a lot of hiring is happening on remote basis. So on LinkedIn also you can find these startups. But always, like as I told you, as I also given the example of my LinkedIn success case study, it's always the customization which will give you the result in any platform you use, rather than just giving your CV or your firm profile. Even though it might be great, I'm not doubting your, see, I have criticized a lot about the proposals, but don't take it as a negative manner. I'm just highlighting the fact what would work for you to getting success. So if you are approaching on LinkedIn to any startup, try to be proactive in your approach. Don't follow a standardized approach of submitting one email, something like that. Try to add some value, try to help that startup, and then business will come automatically. That is the key. And always one last thing is, like you might think that this client which you are getting is small, but always what I have seen in like more than 20% of the cases, the client will start with small project, but eventually you will get a bigger role in their businesses. And many of business comes out of Upwork, like you can directly deal with the client outside Upwork. So many things happen. So don't be in a mindset that it's not a long term or bigger upscalable thing. You can upscale it, definitely. You just need the right client, which will definitely come. I cannot say that it will come in couple of months. You can come across with the good client maybe in 6 months or 1 year, but definitely they will come to you and they will associate you for more years. Like all my clients right now are long term, more than 5 years and older, and they are giving me bigger and bigger roles nowadays. So it always happens to like you start small and then you will build upon it. Yeah, the startup link is Angel List. You can I will be sharing this presentation as well, so you can go through that with the links.
Great. Any further questions or amazing session?
Naman, I must say the questions and solution is already provided by Dhaval Bhai during the session. When
he anticipated those questions and provided already them in the presentations.
That's true. That's true. In fact, just to summarize today's session, I would say this is like putting light in a black box. The scope and opportunity which is available in this field is mammoth, is what I understand. And many chartered accountants like me have absolute no idea, and we slog 24/7 in corporate life. You have tempted me to start my own CA practice, and I think that is one of the biggest achievements of this session.
In fact, even I'm thinking the same of quitting my job and starting something like this.
Excellent, Shagufta. I think we both are echoing each other's words, and all credit goes to Dhaval for motivating us to pick up practice as a revenue stream.
I will definitely connect with him.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Dhaval Bhai. Thank you for today's session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Dhaval Bhai, and Namrata has already given an informal and a formal vote of thanks. So,
yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much, Dhaval Bhai. Thank you, everyone. And we at BCAS Tech Committee look forward to your suggestions on new topics which you want to get covered forward towards more such secrets by Dhaval Bhai also.
Sure. Anytime. Yes.
Thank you, Dhaval Bhai. Thank you everyone to join in, and please join our WhatsApp groups and do follow us on LinkedIn. And the link has been shared by Namrata in the chat box, so people can join that WhatsApp group and be updated of the various programs which we plan. Thank you so much. Anything else, Namrata?
We invite all the participants to a future session. Do block your Saturday mornings. We have a lot of revenue generating opportunities for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Have a nice weekend, everyone. Thank you, Dhaval Bhai, once again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.